Day one was pretty good. I won the key pot early, which wasn't a huge pot, but it was the difference of starting with, I mean, it's the middle of the first level. It was the difference of having like 26,000 or 16 or 14,000. And I made a flush on the river. I turned top pair, and I made a pretty big bet, and the lady folded. So that put me at 26, and I never got below 20 after that. I finished the day with like 57,000. I actually made a 6-play at the end of the day because I was playing really tight and I wanted to get up to like the 80 range. And sometimes the tables that you're at dictate exactly how much chips you have, and generally speaking my table is very tight. And so I actually 4-bet this player that I thought was going to make a move on me because I was starting to play really aggressive, and he had aces and automatically he shipped, and you know, I have to act like I have a real hand here after playing the 4th raise, and I folded. So I ended the day with 57. I was very happy. I mean, it's a tad above average, and so it turned out to be a good day. When I walked in to the Amazon room, I thought, like, it was pretty overwhelming, you know? I didn't play that many preliminary events. I had family obligations, so I played like 2 events, and just the whole World Series atmosphere is very intense. But I'm amazed at the quality of play, and I'm amazed I even considered not playing, because I've seen huge mistakes on every day. Not only at my table, but at tables by me, and these guys are playing like, you know, like 100 big blind pots or like 200 big blind pots with just marginal hands, and like they're just dumping chips. So I really believe that this tournament is the biggest overlay by far in any forms of poker or any form of gambling. But on day 3, I got as low as 35,000, and somehow I chipped up to 100K by dinner break. And then I just I played my first all-in pot of the night to get me to 240 in like the 5th level. I had 2 jacks and ace king. I smooth called a raise, and then some internet kid who plays pretty solid re-raised big. And I thought about pitching it, but after I studied, I just sensed he was really nervous. So I immediately pegged him on ace king. So I 5 called, and the flop came jack 10-7. I checked, and he bet big, and I moved in for like 48,000 more, and he called. And sure enough, he had ace king, and it held. Day 5 was very strenuous because I started the day with 670 or 650, and I got as low as 300. So again, I was down to like 15 big blinds, and I chipped up to 800,000. This was actually a 2-sequence pot that got me to 1.7 million, and from then I went in the cruise. The blinds were 12 and 24,000. I raised like 65,000 with 60,000 with queen jack of hearts in the button, and the small blind call, and the flop came like ace 10. He checked, I bet 60,000, he called. Turn was the queen, he checked, I bet 100,000, he called. And the river came a blank, and we check. The way I played the hand is I wanted to represent strength by my small bets, and I wanted to get a free showdown for 100,000 by betting the turn. So that put me exactly 800, and the very next hand was probably the most intense hand for me in the tournament. Everyone folded me again. I opened for 65,000 with ace jack offsuit, and the small blind re-raised to 200,000 straight. And the whole day I was playing really weak tight, not necessarily weak tight, but just tight in general because of my chip stack. And I knew that he had a lot of chips here, like 2.5, and I knew that in this range he's going to have a big range of hands, and he doesn't necessarily have massive strength. So. And plus, I've been like really solid, so I know that most likely he's going to think he's going to win with a walk. And he re-raised to 200. I studied. I thought about moving in, but I had to be 100% sure that, I mean, more importantly, that he folds or that I have the best hand. I wasn't sure. I decided to see a flop in position, and flop came jack deuce 4 all hearts, and I don't have the ace of heart, or obviously it would be really easy. And he opened push for 2 million, and I took like 5 minutes, and like, you know, I mean, it's really hard. This is like the most important moment in my tournament. There's like maybe 70 players left. I believe about 70 players, and maybe 80. And I called, and he had ace 10 with the 10 of hearts, and it helped. So, but when we finally got to the final table bubble, that was when it was the absolute most stressful time for me, because the worst spot to bust in this tournament is 10th. I mean, just because of the whole difference between 10th and 9th is huge in money and endorsements and everything else that comes along. I get to wait 3 or 4 months, but that time was absolutely the most stressful because I had the most pressure. I'm the shortest stack. No one's within I'm like, I have half the stack of anyone else, and everyone's looking at me, you know, because they're looking at your stack. They want to see when I'm going to make a mistake. And amazingly, there was just 2 horrendous plays and I got, like, the first one, the bad hand sucked out, and the second one, the bad hand didn't suck out, and next thing you know, I'm in. And, like, the rest is a free roll. I mean, it's truly amazing. Like, I had to adjust strategy again when I was really short, like from 14 players on. My whole objective at that point was the final table at all costs. Everything else after becomes another free roll in November, you know.